Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now I just want to talk a little bit more about the Samsung S23 Ultra. When this device launched, me personally, I also felt that there were not many upgrades, and that is because tech enthusiasts like myself and even yourself might find that the S23 Ultra is just like sort of marginally better than the S22 Ultra from last year. However, I think that this device here, after using it for a bit now, I noticed that this device isn't really targeted at like last gen's S22 Ultra. It's really for those of you who have used other devices, maybe to actually allow some other people to jump ship from devices like Huawei, or maybe instead like Vivo, or even iQOO for that matter. It doesn't matter what phone you are using, but this device here is actually meant to target those users. So I'm going to give my perspective as someone who has used other devices, and maybe if you are in that exact same shoes, and if you're thinking of going to the Samsung S23 Ultra, well, let's find out a little bit more about it. Alright, so first thing, in terms of the design, I think you already can tell like it looks quite good. It has this very premium and flagship feel to it. I mean, Samsung has always been making one of the greatest feeling devices, and the S23 Ultra is definitely no different. Anyway, in case you are coming from other devices, this is how the S23 Ultra stands beside the iQOO. Notice that they are actually one of the widest phones that I've actually handled in a while now, and they are actually very similar in terms of feel, although there is a bit of a curve at the back of this iQOO, but for the S23 Ultra it's quite flat. Just in terms of comfort, I always think that at the end of the day, after using your device for a little bit more, you will get used eventually to how it feels, how wide it is and all that. I also have my trusty Vivo X90 Pro here. In terms of the cameras, you can see that it's actually quite different here. The Vivo utilizes a 1-inch sensor, which I actually mentioned in my initial video that I was actually a bit disappointed that the 1-inch sensor wasn't available on the Samsung S23 Ultra. Samsung decided to go with something like the 200 megapixel main sensor. So after testing it out a little bit more, I can definitely tell you that it's not to say it's a bad thing on the Samsung S23 Ultra. The way they handle pictures are just a little bit different. So what you can actually expect from the Samsung here over one of the best other Android devices like the Vivo X90 Pro here is that pictures will look generally sharper overall. So for this 1-inch sensor, whenever you take photos, it gives you this artistic look, where the background blur is just so soft, the bokeh just looks amazing. Whereas for the S23 Ultra is going with a different approach. Naturally, the sensor is not as large as the one of the X90 Pro, so you will see that it is clearer across the entire image. And I think, just for general users, you might actually appreciate that not everyone, wants that artistic look, that very smooth bokeh. At the end of the day, people just want something that just looks clear. Then I think the S23 Ultra here is actually still doing a great job. Alright, so in terms of night shots, I must say that this was actually where it amazed me a lot. So I was out last night, just going out in the city, and a lot of the buildings, the lights were actually turned off. So I just wanted to test out the S23 Ultra here and see how it performed. And guess what? I mean, it was amazing. So let me just show you a couple of shots that I already have in here. Just to give you a very quick look, I took a photo of the KL Twin Towers. And guys, I mean, it is really impressive. If you take a look at this shot here, again, the tower's lights were already turned off, but we were able to capture a super clear night image, guys. So it's not really the case of whether you have a large 1-inch sensor. This Samsung S23 Ultra really outperforms a lot of other smartphones that I have, and I own right now. Other than that, I tried the 3x zoom at night, and again, I was able to see a lot of detail from the Twin Towers. In fact, the 10x zoom was also quite alright, although it started to get a little bit blurry and a bit of noise. But I would say that most of the times you can shoot in either 1x or 3x, and it just will produce amazing photos at night. So again, I have to take back a bit of my words saying that I was disappointed that it didn't come with the 1-inch sensor. The 200 megapixel sensor is still really good at night. So you don't have to worry about not having a larger sensor to capture enough light and all that. The S23 Ultra really outperforms a lot of my other flagship devices. Alright, so what else is next? In terms of performance, definitely this is being powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. You guys already know that. We have very strong performance here. Again, this is one of the best processors that you can find today. So just in terms of using the device, you will definitely find that it's very snappy, it's very smooth. And in terms of the software, you have that One UI 5.0, and it also now supports that good lock here in Malaysia, so you are able to do really nice, like lock screens. Everything just looks a bit fresher and newer to my eyes. Again, from someone who is coming from devices like Vivo, Huawei, the Nothing phone, OnePlus and all that, I am actually very happy to say that I have a refreshed feeling with the S23 Ultra. Again, this is just a very quick, first kind of thoughts of this device here, so I will definitely be doing a longer term review, but these are just a couple of my initial impressions, since the day I actually had the unboxing. Alright, so other than that, what else can I say? The battery life has definitely been holding up really well. I noticed that it was as good as the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and that phone really has, like really solid kind of battery life. The charging is 45 watts. It does it fairly quickly, though it doesn't come with the charger in the box, so I had to use my own charger, but otherwise, very good stuff there. The pen, a little bit of comments about the pen here. I think this is last year's pen, if I'm not mistaken. I did wish that Samsung gave us something that is like, color coordinated. So it's still black and green. I think the black and white combo will look a little bit more, obvious. But for this, I think I'm okay with the color actually. So just so you know, it doesn't come with like a green pen or anything like that. Anyway, my first thoughts of the Samsung S23 Ultra has been really positive. Again, that 200 megapixel camera, which is the main selling point of this device here, really stands out. It is excellent, and I will be doing a further deeper, kind of review on this device. Do stay tuned for that. But yeah, definitely very excited to share these thoughts with you. Again, this phone is not really targeted for the S22 Ultra users from last year, but it's really for if those of you who are thinking about jumping ship from, like again, Vivo, or iQOO, or maybe Huawei, I mean other brands as well. This is actually a very strong offering from Samsung. Alright, so with that said, thank you for watching today's very quick video. If you have any questions or is there something that you want me to test out, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Appreciate your time. Don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!